You're going to get killed doing that one of these days, Lascari.
There were people out front. I had to get to you quick. I found the stuff. It's being loaded aboard the Orinoco.
The Orinoco?
An old tramp steamer tied up at Pier 28.
Well, you have your instructions.
What can we do? We can't get near the ship.
You know, don't you, that if those chemicals fall into the hands of our enemies, we're through?
Sure, I know it. But the wharf's swarming with guards.
Then we've got to think of another way, Lascari. That ship has got to be stopped.
Hello? Yes, this is Olga. Yes. Yes, I understand. I'll do as you say.
I think we gave him the slip that time. How much farther is it?
We'll be there in a minute.
Is Mr. Wong at home? I'm Mr. Simon Dayton.
What do you want?
I'm looking for Mr. Wong, Mr. James Lee Wong.
Good evening, Mr. Dayton. I am James Lee Wong. I beg you to forgive my feathered friend. He delights in the sound of his own voice, but like so many humans, the words don't seem to matter. If you will forgive my humble surroundings.
Well, Phil Davis sent me to you, Mr. Wong.
Yes?
My life is being threatened. He said you'd be able to help me.
A request from a friend is virtually a command. If you'll state your case, please.
Well, I haven't any case. I'm just convinced that somebody's out to get me, that's all.
Whom do you suspect?
Anyone, everyone, every place I go. I tell you, it's driving me crazy.
How long have you been bothered by this, shall we say, apprehension?
For a couple of months. You see, about that time, my two partners and myself arranged to ship a load of chemicals abroad. From that time on, we've had a lot of trouble.
Just what sort of trouble?
Factory deliveries held up. Railroad shipments damaged. Ships withdrawn that I'd already charted.
I see. Go on.
My office has been entered and rifled several times lately.
Ah. Anything taken?
Desk, files searched, but nothing taken.
Is there anything else you can tell me?
Yes. A couple of days ago, a Miss Petroff dropped into the office with a letter of introduction. Yesterday, I saw the man from whom she said she got the letter. He had never heard of her.
How about these two partners of yours?
Wilk and Meisel, they're okay. We've been associated for 15 years. I don't know. I seem to have the feeling that I'm being followed, that I was followed here tonight. It all seems so indefinite. I just can't give you a single clue, Mr. Wong.
On the contrary, Mr. Dayton, you have. You spoke of a forged letter. You have it?
Oh, yes, of course, at the office. Will you do this? Will you come to the office and talk it over? I'll pay you anything you ask, but I must have help or I'll lose my mind.
How will 10 o'clock in the morning suit you?
Fine. I do appreciate this, Mr. Wong. Appreciate it immensely. In the meantime, what would you advise me to do?
I would suggest an almond duck smothered with succulent water chestnuts. A little rice wine.
What?
I beg your pardon. Have you a good cook?
Yes.
Then go home, have a good dinner, and sleep. He rests well who dines well.
Good night, Mr. Wong, and thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10.
Good night, Mr. Dayton.
Look out, Wong! That wasn't my chauffeur. That wasn't John. I saw his face. Oh. This is John. This is my chauffeur. John, easy. John, what happened? What happened? Wong!
Good morning, Mr. Dayton.
Good morning. Mr. Wong will be here at 10 o'clock. I'm not seeing anyone else, understand?
Why, Mr. Meisler and Mr. Wilker in your office waiting for you.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
Anything wrong, Dayton?
Nothing wrong with me. What's in your mind?
Simon, we overlooked a little matter in our partnership agreement. It's quite important.
Yes? What is it?
There's nothing that covers the situation which will arise if one of us dies.
Meisel thinks of everything.
In order to simplify things, I've drawn up an additional clause to our agreement. I'll read it to you. In the event of the demise of any of the three principals to this agreement, it is understood and agreed that his interest shall revert in its entirety to the surviving principals and or principal. We both signed.
The way I figure, it's wise to always be prepared in a case like this.
I wish we'd never gone into this now.
Not trying to back out again, Dayton.
No.
Well, don't. You're in this too deep for that. That ship is going to sail.
Mr. Wong should be here by now.
Why, he's not due for 20 minutes, Mr. Dayton.
Oh.
Good morning, Miss Ross.
Good morning, Carl.
Can I see Mr. Dayton?
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl. It's impossible.
You've been telling me that for a week.
Well, Carl, he'll see you tomorrow. I'll get him to.
He'll see me today.
Oh, Carl!
Here, you,
Mr.
Carl.
Mosley has a
Let
gun!
me go! Let me
Carl!
Let me go!
What do you want?
I want my formula.
Throw him out! Ryan, Muscle, throw him out of here! Throw him out!
You promised to pay me for my formula. You promised to make me a partner. You've got a shipload of it going out tomorrow. You're trying to freeze me out of this deal.
You hear me? Throw him out!
Kill you!
Throw him out!
Carl,
I will! No, I won't! Very silly.
Hello, operator. Get me the police department.
Street speaking.
This is Simon Dayton, Dayton Chemical Works. Yes. There's a man up in my office threatening me with a gun.
With a gun, eh? Devlin.
Yeah?
There's the guy with a gun at the Dayton Chemical Works.
You better stay away from her. He's dangerous.
Oh, Carl and I are old friends, aren't we? Yes?
Hello, Myra. Is there a guy up there with a gun? Your boss just phoned.
Why, yes, there is, Sam, but I don't think you need to...
I'll be right up.
Look, Carl, why don't you go home now?
No, I'm going to wait here. I gave him my formula. He said he only wanted to look at it. Now I won't give it back.
Oh, I'm sure Mr. Dayton just misplaced it. He's been very busy lately.
But he says I didn't give it to him.
Oh, he probably just forgot. He's been awfully worried. Look, Carl, why don't you go now? If he's
I
trying to...
want my formula.
There he is.
Carl, Sam.
What's up, Myra? Where's this gunman? Gunman?
Up on your feet.
Where's your boss?
I'll let him know you're here. He doesn't answer.
Well, I was standing at the window when we drove up.
Mr. Dayton? Mr. Dayton? It's locked, Sam.
What's all this about? Hello, this is Street speaking. I'm down at the Dayton Chemical Company. Looks like a homicide. Yeah, everything. Right away. Why'd you kill Dayton?
I didn't.
Look, Myra, I want you to pull yourself together and tell me exactly what happened. Hello, Wong.
Hello, Street. I hope I'm not too late. My appointment was for 10 o'clock.
What appointment?
I have an appointment with Mr. Dayton.
This man wasn't shot. There's not a mark on him. Looks like heart failure.
What about this gun?
Even with my rather limited experience, I would say the doctor was correct in his assumption. Simon Dayton was not shot.
How do you know? Did you examine the body?
No, but I examined the gun. I'm afraid it hasn't been fired.
What'd you find?
A piece of glass.
Now, look, Wong, the doc tells me he died of heart failure. Now, you're going to tell me somebody hit him over the head with a bottle.
Hardly. I'm not suggesting this is part of a bottle. It's as thin as a piece of eggshell.
Chief, do you want to see this? I found it in his inside pocket.
Those are Mr. Dayton's papers. Have you a right to read them?
I've already read them. What's it to you anyway? Who are you? One of the partners?
No, sir.
Well, who are you?
Mr. Dayton's office manager.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
If I might, please.
When I got your message, Mr. Wong, we prepared everything.
So nice of you to take so much trouble.
Oh, we're always interested when you decide to work out one of your experiments with us. Mr. Simpkins is anxious to meet you.
Oh, yes.
I told him that we were at Oxford together.
Oh, really?
He's the scientist you said you wanted. Mr. Simpkins? Mr. Wong.
Delighted, Mr. Wong. How do you do, Mr. Simpkins?
We didn't have any glass blowers on the faculty, but Mr. Simpkins assures me he's one of the best in San Francisco.
I'm sure of it. Now, do you think you can determine from these small pieces of glass the size and shape of the original?
Well, I don't see why not.
Then shall we go to work? Calcium, 0.063. Silicate of potash, 0.653. Manganese, 0.217.
That much manganese?
Yes, why?
Awfully brittle glass. Must have been made by a Bavarian.
Why do you say that?
They're the only glass blowers I know who use that much manganese.
From the curvature, it must have been almost a perfect sphere, 65 millimeters in diameter, about 2.5 inches.
Mm-hmm. Try to reproduce the size and the thickness as closely as possible.
Which shoelace should tie first, left or right?
Left. Where's the capital of Minnesota?
St. Paul. Scratch your neck.
Say ah.
Ah. Count from 12 to 25.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. What do you associate with the word hiccough? A spasm of the diaphragm.
Well, I haven't found the car yet. When you do get it, what do you expect to find?
I'm afraid I don't quite know yet. But I'll tell you just as soon as I do.
Ah, you're wasting your time, Wong. It's as plain as the nose on your face. Roemer figured Dayton stole that two-bit invention of his and goes up there and waves a gun around. Dayton's got a weak heart and it jumps and he keels over dead. So they'll find out the little guy's crazy and that'll be the end of it.
Here's the Roemer sanity report.
I told you they'd find out the little guy was insane.
Insane? He's just as sane as you are.
Yeah, you have to be crazy to dope one of those things out.
Here's a coroner's report. The guy died of poison gas.
Gas? That's impossible. How could the guy have been gassed? What's that?
That is a replica of the murder instrument.
Now, look, Wong, you're not going to tell me you took those little pieces of glass and put them together and made that.
You flatter me. Some friends of mine made this.
Sort of a gas grenade, huh? Brakes when thrown?
Undoubtedly.
I got it. That gun was a ruse, a magician's trick. While Dayton was watching that gun, Roemer threw that glass globe and it broke and killed Dayton.
And everybody else in the room.
Sure. Yeah, that's right, it would have. But he could have planted it. That's it. He planted it. And when Dayton came back to his desk, he stepped on it and it killed him.
Sure. Well, that should be easy to find out. Mr. Russell and Miss Ross were with Roemer in the room the whole time.
That's right. Bring him in.
Say, how much longer?
Take it easy.
Is it for me?
No, lady.
Miss Ross.
Russell, inside.
Hello, Mr. Wong.
Sit down. Please. I want you to dismiss everything else from your mind and concentrate on what happened this morning.
Who do you think you're talking to?
I'm sorry, Myra. This is business. Please. When Roemer broke in Dayton's office this morning, did he have anything else in his hand beside that gun?
Not that I know of.
But you're not sure.
You mean in the hand with the gun?
No, the other hand.
The left hand.
Naturally, if the gun was in the right hand, the other hand would be the left hand.
Naturally. No!
Did you see him drop anything on the floor?
No.
I'm quite sure it wasn't dropped.
How do you know it wasn't dropped? You picked it up in little pieces, didn't you? It had to break.
But not by dropping.
Did you see Roemer stoop over and roll a little glass globe like this?
Well, what's that? Isn't that curious?
Yes. That's a replica of the glass globe that might have contained the gas that killed Dayton. No, there's no gas in that. And you? Maybe you can answer my questions intelligently. What hand did you have a hold of?
Left hand.
Did he have anything in the left hand?
No.
You're sure he didn't have anything in the left hand?
No, yes, I'm sure.
I beg your pardon, Miss Ross. I would like to ask you a question, if I might.
Yes, Mr. Wong.
Did Mr. Dayton have any set habits? I mean, for instance, did he always open the top drawer of his desk, then take out his bank book and examine the balance at 9:30 sharp every morning?
What's that got to do with it?
Please, Sam, Mr. Wong is trying to ask me a question. Mr. Dayton didn't keep his bank book in his desk at the office.
I know, Miss Ross, but Did he take bicarbonate of soda or change his coat or anything at all at any set given time?
What are you driving at?
If the murderer knew the habits of the victim, he could have placed the bulb where the victim himself could explode it.
That's right.
Was Roemer ever in Dayton's office before he came in with that gun?
You mean this morning?
This morning, yesterday morning, the morning before?
What morning do you mean?
Any morning!
No! Mr. Wong, I think I know what you're trying to get at. Mr. Roemer hasn't been in Mr. Dayton's office for a month.
Oh. I don't think it could have been planted as far ahead as that. Obviously, the murder was timed to occur, but Mr. Dayton was alone in his office.
Yeah. That's all.
Mr. Wong, it's been such a pleasure meeting a detective with such charming manners.
Thank you. Delightful girl. I'm sure you two will be very happy.
You don't miss a thing, do you? Devlin,
Yeah.
bring in Meisel and Wilkes.
Is it for me?
No, lady. You too.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Mr. Meisel,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Wilk.
you were Dayton's partners, weren't you?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
What were you doing in his office this morning at 9:30?
Well, purely a business meeting between the three of us.
What kind of business?
Well, we had a rider to an agreement which needed the signatures of all three.
Is this it?
Yes, that's Dayton's copy.
In other words, if Dayton died, you two fellows would inherit his interest, that right?
That's right.
If I've ever seen a motive for murder, this piece of paper is it. Did you take anything else into his office?
Oh, absolutely nothing.
Did you ever see one of these?
No, I can't say that I have. Some type of light bulb, I should say.
Pardon me. Isn't Meisel a Bavarian name?
It was originally, I believe. Why? Are we to consider ourselves under arrest, Captain?
No, you can go.
Thank you.
Well, a lot of information we got out of them. Devlin!
Yeah, Chief.
Any more of them out there?
Yeah, a woman.
Who is she?
I picked her up in the Dayton Chemical Works.
Yeah? Bring her in.
This way, lady.
What's your name?
Margaret Dolan.
Sit down. Where were you at 9:30 this morning?
At 9:30 this morning, I was in the Dayton Chemical Building on the 4th floor.
What were you doing there?
What I'm always doing,
What's that?
scrubbing floors.
That'll be all. Thank you, lady.
This way, lady.
Devlin,
Yeah.
nice going.
Thanks, Chief. Get out of here.
Well, that's all of them.
Oh, no. You're forgetting Mr. Petrov, the one with the letter of introduction. But to say nothing of the party or parties who rifled Dayton's office.
And the guy that stole Dayton's car.
And the man who stole Dayton's car.
Look, Roemer's got a motive. At least he thinks he has. The formula. Meisel and Wilkes have a motive. But the Russian gal and the guy that stole Dayton's car. See if you can dope that out for me.
You blunder, both of you. You must have, or Dayton wouldn't have gone to Wong. And you... I told you to be careful.
Dayton's out of the way.
Yes, but that Chinaman saw your face.
I'll take care of him.
We're not taking any chances like that. We've got to stop that boat and get their formula.
Won't take him long to get that boat loaded.
Then we've got to work fast. It's the formula that worries me. If we could only reach Roma.
It's impossible. He's in jail.
Then it's got to be Wilk or Meisel.
It'll be Wilk. I'm having cocktails with him tomorrow.
Olga, you can be very clever when you're not careless. And you watch the boat. And remember, be careful. Wong is a clever man. But if you watch your every movement as you've been trained and as I do, even Mr. Wong can be fooled.
You won't find anything in there, Wong. We've checked it completely. The only fingerprints on the car are Dayton's and his chauffeur's. What'd you find?
Well, the man who stole Dayton's car obviously picked up a companion. I don't think Dayton smoked this type of cigarette.
You mean there's something in the tobacco?
A Kachina bark. It's mixed with tobacco in South America.
Look, Wong, first you give me a Russian. Now we got a hitchhiking South American. A nice menagerie you're getting. Where do we go from here?
To Carl Roemer's house.
All right, Devlin, back it out. Tommy, bring that car over.
Right.
What about your international duet?
You're still holding Carl Roemer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, then we must eliminate him before we can proceed.
What do you expect to find at Roemer's?
I don't know, Street, but it won't hurt to look.
I'd like to disturb you, Miss Roemer, but we'll have to look over your husband's workshop.
Why don't you let Carl come home? He didn't kill Mr. Dayton. He was only angry because Mr. Dayton kept his formula. All he wanted was to frighten him.
Yeah, well, if that's true, Miss Roemer, you haven't anything to worry about. He'll be out in a couple of days.
You know that's all Carl did. Why, the gun wasn't even loaded.
All we are trying to do is to help your husband, Mrs. Roemer. Now, if you'd allow us to have a look at the room where he worked.
We haven't anything to hide. You can see everything. My husband is innocent. Come this way, please. This is where Carl works.
Would you like to see Carl today?
Oh, can I?
Yes, you get your hat and coat and we'll take you down. What are you looking for?
Sand.
Sand? What are you going to do, build a beach now?
White sand.
What's the difference?
It's used in the manufacture of glass.
Oh, Miss Roemer, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your husband. Was he ever mixed up with the officials, that is, the law?
Oh, no, sir.
By the way, Mrs. Roemer, where was your husband born?
He was born here in San Francisco.
And he's lived here all his life?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Are you going with us?
No, I'm going home. But if you need me, I'll be there.
Thanks, I'll remember that.
Niêm Huệ Hạn cho hàm ý ở đây. Hai thì Niêm Huệ Hạn cho mùi trường thiên hoài gì cơ. Đâu vậy?
Mr. Wong, of course I want to help in every way possible, but you've come to the wrong man.
Sometimes we witness things without being aware of their importance.
Are you implying that my eyesight is failing?
You misinterpret my words as well as my motives.
I don't think I've misinterpreted your motives. Just what is it you think I may have seen without being aware of it?
The murderer planting the instrument of death We know it was planted in Dayton's office shortly before his death.
It couldn't have been placed there in my presence.
There is always that possibility. You were there that morning.
So was Meisel.
That is true.
I admit that the death of my partner was very profitable to me. But outside of that, I can't help you.
The Countess Dubois.
I'm sorry we have to cut our visit so short.
I quite understand.
I'm glad you called, Mr. Wong. Countess, I'm honored.
Mr. Wilk, Baron von Krantz.
How'd you do?
How do you do? I'm glad you came with the Countess.
My dear Countess, what an unexpected pleasure. And may I add, looking even more charming than when I saw you last.
I regret not recalling the occasion.
I regret having made so faint an impression. Surely you remember the Argentine ball at the embassy in London?
Oh, of course, how stupid of me. But there were so many other celebrities there. Mr. Wong, Baron von Krantz.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's still Mr. Wong?
As yet, I've had no occasion to change my name.
Are you in a hurry, or will you join us in a cocktail?
Well, since you insist, allow me, Countess. And are you going to be in San Francisco long, Countess?
Just a fortnight.
Really? Oh, allow me.
Do you mind? Baron, may I have one of your cigarettes, please? Thank you.
If I may? No brand.
I have them especially made for me.
Very pleasing and individual flavor. A trace of Katrina.
I brought the papers Mr. Wilk wanted from the office.
Mr. Wilk is engaged at present.
I'll just leave them in the library.
I think that'll be all right, sir.
Pardon me.
Yes?
I have the papers.
All right. Your health, Countess.
Thank you.
Well, I seem to be just in time. Mr. Wong?
Hello. Countess Dubois, my partner, Mr. Meisel.
How do you do?
Mr. Meisel.
To our better acquaintance, Countess.
Special delivery letter for you, sir.
Excuse me.
Oh, Baron. Mr. Meisel, Baron von Krantz.
Pardon me.
Well, I think I have everything arranged as you suggested.
It's all right, Russell. You can go now.
Street speaking.
This is Christian Wilk. I've just received a warning. My life is in danger. Come right away.
Are you home?
Yes.
I'll be right out. Come on.
On that last grade, this car pulled ahead of all the others.
Hey, Tommy, 3800 block on Webster. Make it snappy.
Right.
Where's Wilk?
In the library, sir.
Show us to him.
Very good, sir.
Stay at the door.
Okay.
Mr. Wilk? The door's locked, sir.
Well, you've got a key?
Yes, sir.
Well, use it.
Yes, sir. Oh.
Get the doc. And nobody leaves here.
Oh.
You been here all the time?
Yes. I came here to question Wilk, and his guests arrived.
Any ideas?
Nothing definite. Wilk, is he...
I believe so. Making you the sole owner of the Dayton Chemical Works.
Are you trying to
Yeah.
imply?
Who was the last one with him?
Mr. Russell, sir. Mr. Russell.
The office manager.
Yes, sir?
Mr. Wilk. Were you in here with him?
Yes, I was.
What
sir.
were you doing?
I brought some papers.
Did you kill him?
Oh, of course. No, sir, I did not.
After Mr. Russell left, I saw Mr. Wilk close these doors and apparently lock them. I can vouch for the fact that everyone here was in the other room.
Why was he in here alone?
I had given him a special delivery letter, sir, which he brought directly to this room.
That's right, Captain. We all saw that. He seemed greatly agitated.
The doc's coming up.
Okay. See if you can find a letter.
Nothing on him.
How are you, Street?
Hello, Doc. All right, everybody wait in the next room. Watch him. Any marks on him?
None that I can see.
Well, what killed him?
That's up to the coroner, Captain.
Yeah. That letter.
Here you are, Street.
Hey, Wong. This letter's from Roemer. What are we waiting for? Look here. Oh, more glass, huh?
Yes. And the same texture.
Yeah. So what? So maybe the guy wore earrings. Come on. Hold everybody here. You can't deny writing that letter. It's your own handwriting.
No, I don't deny that. It is my handwriting.
Why'd you write it?
I can't tell you.
How'd you get the letter out of the jail?
Can't tell you that.
If you'll take my advice, Carl, you'll tell the captain everything you know.
I can't.
You're going to talk, Roemer. If it's a little persuasion you want, you'll get it. Hello. Have the DA's office send over a couple of men. You'll talk, Roemer, if it takes all night.
You'll excuse me, Captain. There are just a few things I'd like to look into.
As soon as I can find out why he wrote this, I'll know everything.
I know. I'm very sorry, but I can't wait.
Carl, I know you're innocent. I'm only trying to help you. If there's something bothering you and it's protection you want, I'll promise you and your family every protection in the world.
You protected Wilk.
Look, Roemer, don't you realize if you continue this attitude, we'll have to indict you for murder?
Come on, lady, right this way.
Oh, Carl.
Wait a minute. Well, Captain, I got it out of her. She mailed that letter. Roemer gave it to her when she visited him yesterday. She mailed it this morning.
Oh. Maybe you'll talk now, Roemer. Unless you want your wife to go to the gallows with you.
Oh, Carl, tell them what they want to know. You know you're innocent.
Let her sit down.
I refuse to be held here any longer. As attorney for the deceased, I demand you let me phone the district attorney.
I'll have to call headquarters.
I thought I told you not to put any calls through. Oh, all right, put him on.
Listen, Sam, I can't hold this guy Meisel much longer. He wants to call the DA. Insists as attorney for the two murdered men, you can't hold him.
Wait a minute. Meisel's hollering for the DA. Can't I hold him as a material witness?
Yes, you can. But if you do, you won't have your job in the morning.
Look, Devlin, release all of them. Yeah, let them go. But make them go straight home. Yeah, where I can get a hold of him if I want him. I don't care what he says. He's the suspect and the material witness.
You can go. You can all go. But you gotta go right straight home and stay there in case Street wants you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Captain Street will call out the militia if I see that the Countess has supper?
Street wants you at your own home where he can be reached.
Tell Captain Street that the Countess and I'll be having dinner for the next hour.
But after that, you'll be at your own home, Mr. Meisel?
Yes, but only because I intended to go there in the first place.
Take her into the matron.
Okay, Captain. Come on, lady.
You're the toughest nut I've ever had to crack.
Chief.
Yeah?
Lady to see you.
I don't want to see anyone.
It's the lady.
Oh. Keep working on him, boys. Hello, honey. Do you want to see me?
I thought we had a date tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got tied up inside. You know how it is.
I thought I heard a woman's voice in there. Who is it?
Mrs. Roemer.
Good heavens, not Mrs. Roemer. Why?
Oh, nothing. She just mailed a warning letter that Roemer smuggled out of jail.
I suppose that makes her a criminal.
Yes, it does.
Why, she's no more guilty than he is.
Oh, look, let's don't go into that, Myra. She's all right. She's with the matron.
Sam, can I see her? Why don't you let me take her to her sister's? You could find her just as easily there.
All right. I'm tired. I don't care. Maybe I killed him.
Maybe you did. Look, honey, phone the matron and tell her I'm coming down to get Mrs. Roemer.
No date, huh?
I'll be back for you later.
Hello? Captain Street? No. No, Captain Street isn't here. This is Hawkins of the DA's office.
This is Theodore Meisel speaking. Tell Captain Street that I have just finished dining with the Countess Dubois and I'm on my way home now. If Street wants to make anything of it, he can reach me there in about an hour.
Everything going all right?
Yeah, I'll have her loaded by morning.
All right, fine.
Put it away. Where have you been?
Well, the police held me.
Held you for what?
Now, don't tell me you don't know Wilk was killed.
Wilk killed?
Come on, how did you do it?
I didn't.
Oh, Anton, don't be so modest.
You're crazy. That leaves two of them.
Two? Only Meisel.
And Mr. Wong.
Wong?
Yes. Why do you think I left the place? He suspects us. He was here and searched the apartment.
Here? How do you know?
I saw him.
And you let him get away?
Yes.
Why?
Because we're calling on him tonight.
Good evening, Mr. Russell. You found what you were looking for?
Yes, I did.
Would it by any chance have anything to do with your employer's death?
Oh, no, of course not. It's my contract. You see, I had a personal contract with Mr. Dayton. I was afraid the successor may not live up to its terms.
But why in the dark?
I was afraid my life might be in danger. And tomorrow might be too late. You see, I understand the authorities are taking all Mr. Dayton's effects tomorrow.
That's true. You were very close to your employer, weren't you?
Oh, very close. He's more than an employer to me. He's my best friend.
Would you really like to help?
I would, of course.
Then go home and stay home, and I'll have one less person to bother about.
Carl, can't you see this is getting you nowhere? That you'll have to tell us what you know eventually? Your turn, Captain.
Listen, Roemer. You know who killed Dayton and Wilk. But what's more important, I know you know it. Now, you may think you're saving that measly neck of yours by not talking, but you're not. Many a man has swung for knowing less than you do.
My wife. She's safe with her sisters. You're not lying to me.
No, we're not lying. She's at your sister's.
You want the name of the murderer?
Yes, Carl, yes.
You must be very careful. Take no chances. He's a very cunning and desperate man. He'll stop at nothing.
Who is it? We'll take every precaution, but who's the man?
It means my life if you fail.
We'll not fail. We'll get him before he can strike again.
The man who murdered Simon Dayton and Christian Wilk is Theodore Meisel.
How do you know?
I was working at his house one day, and I heard him talking to someone, and he said, Wilk fades out of the picture just 56 hours after Dayton. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but after Mr. Dayton was killed, I got thinking, and a cold chill went down my back. That's why I sent the warning letter to Mr. Wilk.
Meisel. I knew it. Get the boys. 2 cars, tear gas, the whole works. Right. You 2 men stay here and protect Carl. Get him anything he wants from the kitchen. Send in and get the radio from the matron's room. I knew I'd crack this case. Would you like to come along and see me pinch a murderer?
I should be delighted.
Follow me.
Well, that was a tough one. All right, men. 5:15 Marsden Square and no slip-ups.
All right, Harry, take the back. Devlin, take that side.
Here. Somebody out cold in there.
Break in.
Meisel. Well, he found out the house was surrounded and took the easy way out. All right, Devlin, call headquarters. One of you men stay here till the doctor gets here. The rest of you search the house. Seems kind of useless, though. This man's obviously taken his own life.
Yes, and with the same weapon.
Why not? He knew it was fast and he knew it was sure.
Yes, it's very fast and it's very sure.
You know, I hated to work on poor little Roemer the way I did, but it was the only way I could crack the case.
And just what happens to Roemer now?
Well, let him go.
There's no good reason to hold him any longer. I wonder if you'll bring him to my house on the way.
Why?
Well, he'll talk more freely now. And I think we should know a little bit more about Meisel.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, say, Wong, I've got a date. Do you mind if I bring Myra along? She's down at the station waiting for me.
Delighted. It's my servant's day out, but I think we can have some tea.
Yeah, tea. That's great.
We used our beans. We'd have figured this out a long time ago. I'll be right with you, Myra. Let them go and make out the report. If those DA men are going, phone their office and explain that to them. And get a hold of the newspapers. I don't want this story gummed up. Sorry, Myra, I was held up.
Did they get your watch and money?
No, I mean I was delayed.
You're telling me.
Look, it may not seem of any importance to you, but I've just solved the murder case.
Hooray!
It was Meisel.
Meisel?
Yeah. I knew Roemer was innocent all the time, only I had to get a few facts out of him. I can't tell you everything.
You're wonderful. Are you going to release Roemer now?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
There's a few questions we've got to ask him.
Goodbye.
No, Myra, not me. Wong's gonna question him.
We're going to Wong?
Yeah.
Oh, darling.
Well, this must be Mr. Lascari. I don't think we've met before. How do you do? And the Baron. I'm so sorry my servant wasn't here to let you in. Good evening, Countess. Really, your presence in my poor house gives me more honor than I can reasonably bear.
Let the phone alone.
My dear Baron, I was only going to turn on the light. Is there any reason why we should have no light? That's better. Do sit down.
You sit down.
With your permission, Countess. Well, this looks like quite an evening.
Talk, Wong, and talk fast. Why have you been trailing us?
Trailing you?
Yes. You were in my apartment tonight.
Your apartment?
I saw you. What did you take off my desk?
Mr. Anton Mole's blotter. You are Mr. Anton Mole, aren't you?
What of it? What's your interest in us?
I was called in on the Dayton case.
What has that got to do with us?
Well, it seems fairly simple. You tried to stop the shipment of some poison gas to the enemies of your country.
Well?
The next move, of course, was to obtain possession of the formula from the four men who owned it. You tried to kidnap Mr. Dayton. I remember your face in spite of the fog, Lascari.
Let's let him have it.
No.
And the next morning, Mr. Dayton was found murdered. Am I right so far? I see by your faces that I am. Very gratifying. You know, in my country, a teller of tales asks no finer reward.
This isn't getting us anywhere.
You then turn to the most dangerous of all deadly weapons, a beautiful woman. And I must say that Miss Petroff played her part to perfection.
Cut the compliment.
But in spite of all your efforts, you still appear to be without the formula.
Because you've got it. I'll give you exactly 4 minutes to hand it over.
But if I assure you that I haven't the formula...
You've wasted a half a minute already.
You drive a very hard bargain, Mr. Mole. I have no choice but to accept. This glass ball contains a concentration of the poison gas you're looking for.
What do we care? Where's the formula?
The formula is of no use to you unless you understand its operation.
Put your...
Destroyed us all.
Oh!
Don't move! Anybody. The slightest exertion will kill you instantly. This room is filled with poison gas. Invisible. Colorless. Swift. It's in your lungs. Seeping into your bloodstream. There's no escape. Soon you feel a sensation of choking, a tingling in your fingers, paralysis of your limbs. No pain. An icy numbness flowing through your veins, a gnawing at your brain, just as the poison reaches the heart. And then the sleep of everlasting death.
Let's get out of here!
Stay where you are. Now face the other way, please.
Wong!
Come in. Just in time, Street.
But not for tea, I guess.
Ah, the Countess. Allow me to present the Countess Dubois, Miss Olga Petroff, originally Miss Sophie Doane of Brooklyn, Captain Anton Mole, who has been cashiered from at least 3 armies, and our good friend Lascari, who was born without a conscience.
Are they mixed up in this?
Only indirectly. In this particular case, they haven't killed anyone. But I assure you they gave me a most uncomfortable 4 minutes. If you call your men, please.
All right, over there.
I congratulate you on your exoneration, Mr. Roemer.
Thank you.
Devlin, pick up at Wong's and make it snappy.
So nice to see you again, Miss Ross. Now, Mr. Roemer, I know how anxious you must be to get home. But there's a small service that you can do me, if you will.
With pleasure.
Oh. I have the photographs of our 3 friends here, with a long list of the crimes for which they are wanted by the federal government. Now, Mr. Roemer, there is one small point that I can't seem to get quite clear. Of course, it is obvious the suicide of Meisel clearly establishes the identity of the murderer. But we have yet to determine the method that he used. Now, you no doubt have experimented from time to time, as we all have, with vibrations of sound, and used those vibrations to shatter tubes or globes of glass. But Meisel went a step further. He filled the glass globe with your poison gas, then made use of some form of sound that he could control from a safe distance. So all he had to do was to plant the globe in his victim's quarters and wait an opportunity to explode it. I think it is more than likely that he was preparing to take the life of one of us, when accidentally he destroyed himself. I'm sorry to spoil your theory of Suicide Street. Now, I am positive that this globe is identical with the globes that were used in the murders. I've destroyed 2 or 3 myself in my own experiments, with various forms of sound, but not when it was filled with gas, as this one is. So tonight, if you will help me, I'm going to try radio. I have a sending set. If it succeeds, all we have to do is to look for one in Meisel's home. Needless to say, we'll operate it from an adjoining room. But I assure you, there's enough poison in this. Oh, excuse me. Your carriage approaches. So sorry you can't stay. When you're at liberty, do call again. Watch that! Please don't be alarmed. That one, too, was empty.
All right, Devlin, cuff him and take him away.
Don't forget you have another passenger, Street.
Yeah, Roemer, too.
So you always arrange to have your victims call the police themselves, and the sound of the siren exploded the globe. Clever. Very clever, Roemer.
Well, let's start moving. That goes for you, too, sister. Moving right along, Charlie.
Well, that's off the slate. I knew it all the time. It was Roemer. I hope you're convinced.
Oh, I am, thanks to Mr. Wong.
Okay.
You're very clever, but I don't see how you figured out...
Look, Myra, Mr. Wong is tired and I'm tired, and we have a date.
Oh, have we?
Yes, for supper and a show.
Oh, so nice of you to remind me at midnight. We'll probably wind up in a lunch wagon.
Well, you know what you were doing when you started running around with a detective.
Oh, you admit it.
What?
That you're a detective. Good night, Mr. Wong. I do hope we meet again sometime.
Good night, Miss Ross.
Good night, Wong. That's a fine crack to make in front of Mr. Wong.
Oh, Sam, don't act so silly.
Lovebirds.
請大家將會按此經大家 all the time too much music. Have a nice day.
A very nice day.
You like something to eat? Chicken noodle?
No.
Pork chop?
No.
What do you like?
Just a cup of tea.
一杯茶. All right, 一杯茶. All right.
Till showtime. Why not add to your enjoyment with a delicious confection and drink at our attractive refreshment stand? minutes till showtime. Tempt your taste with the wide variety of mouth-watering snacks available at popular prices at our refreshment stand. Till showtime. Satisfy yourself with a thirst-quenching drink. Your favorite beverage awaits you at our refreshment stand. The show is about to start, folks, but the refreshment stand will remain open for your pleasure.
The mistress up yet?
Yes, she upstairs, sitting room, with secretary man.
Very good. Drina? My secretary's working with Mrs. Edwards?
Yes. Another boat has arrived from the Orient.
One who knows too much can very easily be sent back to the Orient.
I'm not afraid.
And then one might never see the Orient again. You know who got you this position? You wanted to come to America, didn't you?
He's home.
You're terrified, aren't you? You're trembling.
Peter, stop it, please.
Valerie, how long are you going to stand for this sort of thing?
Peter, you're forgetting yourself.
You're afraid of him, aren't you? You try to hide it, but you can't. It's becoming more apparent every day.
The boat came in last night. He was out all night, and he brought something home with him.
Really?
It might be what we're after.
I hope so.
What's the matter with you? You're not even listening. Have you forgotten why we're here? You're not interested in your work anymore. You're not interested in me. All you think about is Mrs. Edwards.
Mrs. Edwards has nothing to do with it. Oh, I'm interested in the musical career she offered me.
Career? You're in love with her.
Valerie, don't you see where you're heading? Do you want the same fate as his first wife? A suicide?
Peter, please.
He drove her to it with one refined cruelty after another. He's doing the same thing to you.
Peter, stop it, please.
Stop it, Valerie. Can't you see I love you?
I won't listen.
Yes, you will. I won't stand by and see the woman I love torn to pieces. I can't stand much more. Someday I'm going to kill him.
Peter!
Good morning, my dear.
Good morning.
Have you finished the guest list for our party?
We're just making it up.
Did you invite Ed Jenny? I want to show him something.
Yes, I telephoned him at the university, but he was giving a lecture. I told his secretary.
I'd like to invite Mr. Wong, too.
The Chinese detective?
For your information, he's probably one of the 5 foremost living authorities on ancient art and literature in the Orient. He's also a graduate of Heidelberg and Oxford. Valerie, how long is this mockingbird going to continue?
Oh, Peter, would you ask Michael, please, if he'd mind practicing a little later? Tell him he's annoying Mr. Edwards.
Yes.
It was your idea that we bring Stroganoff to America. You said he was wasting his marvelous talent, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, he has to keep up with his practicing.
Is that why he moved in with us? Or was it so he could feast his eyes on you?
That's not true.
I'm not blind. He has a great attraction for women, hasn't he?
I hadn't noticed.
No?
No. And I don't like your insinuations. You know I'm only interested in his voice.
So? Then what might your interest in young Harrison be?
You're insane. What are you trying to do to me? You throw this together constantly, both Peter and Stroganoff. Well, dismiss Peter. Send Stroganoff away.
In case you were worrying about my absence last night, I was receiving the eye of the daughter of the moon.
Brandon.
What?
You didn't bring that jewel into this house.
Why not?
We'll all be murdered.
Don't be silly, Valerie.
Don't you remember what they told you in Shanghai? What would happen if that jewel ever left China?
An Oriental superstition.
They said it carried the curse of Emperor Hong Chong-Chu.
And they said the emperor was very jealous of his wife. When he buried her, he placed the gem in her heart. Mr. Wong, pardon me. Well, Mr. Wong, glad to see you.
I'm afraid I'm inexcusably late.
Not at all. Pleasure to have you at any time, I'm sure. Oh, Valerie, dear, may I present Mr. Wong, my wife, Mrs. Edwards.
So nice of you to let me come.
I'm delighted you could come, Mr. Wong.
My dear Wong, this is such a pleasure.
Well, Jenny, I haven't seen you since the Dayton affair.
No, that very interesting case.
Yes. Do you remember that awful night in the open car? Raining cats and dogs.
It was almost a year ago.
Oh, stop it, stop it.
Oh, no, please, it's so exciting. Let them go on, please.
Don't encourage them, my dear, or they'll be over in a corner. We'll lose them for the entire night. Now, pardon me just a moment. I must see Mr. Wong.
If you'll excuse me, Mrs. Edwards.
Be with you later.
I'll see you later, James.
Now, Wong.
You've never met Wong before. Fine scholar, brilliantly clever man. And a very good friend to have.
Like you.
Oh, a matched pair. You found the mate.
Yes.
You know, my dear Edwards, someday this collection will be your monument.
Perhaps. Now that I've found this.
The eye of the daughter of the moon.
You recognize it?
Of course. The most beautiful thing in the world. Exquisite. Gorgeous. But very dangerous. Does the Chinese government know it's in this country?
I don't think so. They're searching for it. It was missing from the museum after the looting of Nanking.
I suppose you realize your life may be in danger.
My life is in danger.
When did this come?
The day before I obtained possession of the stone.
The day before?
That's the real reason I was so anxious to have you come here tonight.
Have you consulted the police?
No one.
Why don't you consult our friend Janny? As you know, he's a noted criminologist.
Ed Janny's in and out of here all the time. Practically one of the household. I prefer to consult someone who has a clearer perspective. That's why I sent for you.
I'll keep this. Odd. Arriving the day before. And you suspect no one?
I have made a statement which is contained in this envelope. It is to be opened if anything should happen to me. The name of the person I suspect is in here.
Missy, while you...
Very well, Singh. Absolutely trustworthy. He's devoted to me. Mrs. Edwards is going to play some sort of game downstairs. I think it's called Indications now. You know, you act out some sort of song, play, or picture.
Oh, yes, I remember. In England, we used to call them charades.
Yeah, that's the idea. I've been roped in to assist.
Attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play Indications. We'll act out 3 titles. 1, a song, a well-known song. 2, a book, a mystery book. And the 3rd, a movie, an extremely popular movie, I assure you. And there'll be a bottle of our very best champagne for the very clever person who guesses each one first.
My first appearance as a performer. Oh. Never mind the laugh. I expect to be very good.
Has Brandon been showing you some of the treasure trove he brought back from China? Did he show you the beautiful manuscript he has of the legend of Wu Wang?
Well, no, I didn't know he had it.
Well, what do I do?
Oh, you play the part of your wife's lover.
My wife's lover? That's a novel twist.
Rather.
Well, what happens?
Her husband comes in, he finds you two together, and shoots you.
You know, I think you've got something there. Well, do I say anything?
Oh, yes. Here are your lines.
Valeska, I love you. Who's the husband?
I am.
Valeska, I love you. Valeska. I'll bet you thought of that.
I did.
What ho, thespians, enter! Well, what is it?
4 men in the boat.
Oh, no. Come on now, try again. Oh, this is easy. Come on.
Sailing over the ocean wave.
Well, you're getting warm. Someone else? Oh, I know. The vulgar boatman. Right! Mrs. Bolton wins the first bottle of champagne. Good champagne. Isn't that lovely? Oh.
Our speech.
Oh, well, I never was so popular in my life.
Put it on ice.
And now, number 2, the mystery. No less persons than your host and hostess will play the leading roles in this one. Our play begins on the stroke of midnight.
What?
You shouldn't have come.
Why?
I had to see you.
I had to see you. Valerie, I love you. Valeska, I love you.
John, you mustn't. My husband may be awake.
Your husband is awake.
What are you doing in my wife's arms? I mean, what's my wife doing in your arms?
We've been in love with each other for months.
Months and months.
It'll be fun to let you live and suffer, but as for him, die like a dog.
Now, guess. The eternal triangle. Not this time.
You lose.
Oh, no. Come. Put your thinking caps on.
Dead men tell no tales.
No, you're not even warm.
I've got it. Let's play murder.
No, that's out. I call on the eminent criminologist, Professor Janney.
Oh. Well, I should say it's, what?
What? Terrible, Professor. Oh, as a last resort. Will you make an effort, Mr. Wong?
Oh, I would suggest...
Yes, yes.
Murder comes at midnight.
That's it! Come and get your champagne. And a bottle of soda pop for the professor. Mr. Wong, and you.
I drink my first toast to your excellent performance, in particularly that of our friend Edwards.
Did you hear that, Brandon? Get up and take a bow. Brandon, it's all over. Brandon.
His first appearance and his last.
Well, let me have her. I'll take her to her room. Then I'll call the police.
I'm afraid there has been an unfortunate accident. Your host is dead. Please do not disturb any... I would like to have a word with you two gentlemen, please.
Where's the telephone?
It's in on the table, sir.
You better get your mistress a glass of water.
Yes, sir.
Who suggested this particular playlet?
I did, Mr. Wong. I scribbled the dialogue, and I was to play the husband's part.
Why didn't you?
They needed me for another sketch, so I suggested Harrison.
Who loaded the gun?
Edwards. He loaded it with blanks. I sat right here and watched him.
And was the gun ever out of your possession after it was loaded?
Well, I don't think so. Edwards loaded it and examined it, then I examined it and put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Open up.
What happened?
Boss, dead, up there.
Wait for the coroner. Oh, Wong. I didn't expect to find you here.
I expected you, but not so soon.
Somebody phoned us about 20 minutes ago. Said it was a homicide.
Who phoned, did they say?
No. Why, is it important?
20 minutes ago, the victim was still alive.
Alive? Say, what goes on here?
Well, I'd hoped it was an accident. Now, I wonder.
How are you? Have you any smelling salts?
Yes, sir.
Val. Val? You all right?
Well, there was a party, as you see. And Mr. and Mrs. Edwards were giving a little playlet, in which this young man was supposed to shoot Edwards with this gun.
These are blanks.
Yes. He assures me that he saw Edwards load the gun himself with those blanks. And so far as he knows, the gun has not been out of his possession. But someone tampered with the gun, for the man is dead.
Was anybody else with you when this gun was loaded?
I was there.
Oh. Did you handle the gun?
No.
Maybe we better start this thing at the beginning. Were all these people here when this gun was fired?
Yes, we were all here.
What kept you so long?
I'm sorry, sir.
And we all thought it was just an amusing play until Mrs. Edwards told her husband to get up, and he didn't move.
Where's Miss Edwards?
She was taken to her room by Professor Janney.
Is he here?
Yes, he too is a guest at the party.
Well, the gathering of the clan. We three have worked together before.
That's right.
Let's talk to Miss Edwards. You two stick around. You ladies and gentlemen may go home. Leave your names and addresses with the officer at the door.
All right, folks. Line up out here and give me your names.
Make her more comfortable.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Street. How did you get here so soon?
Somebody phoned us, as far as I can gather, before the shooting occurred.
Amazing.
We'd like to talk to Mrs. Edwards.
Oh, please don't. Don't disturb her for a little while. She's half out of her mind. Utterly prostrate. I'm sure she knows nothing of this.
Well, maybe you can help us out. Where can we talk?
In here.
What's this?
Edwards' den.
Oh. Well, all we have to do is actually find out whether that young secretary knew there was a real bullet in that gun when he fired it.
Not quite as simple as that, Street. There are some very curious angles in this case. It's important to get the report from the ballistics department.
Why?
I just want to be sure that the bullet in Edwards' body really came from Harrison's gun.
Well, that's usual routine. Drop down early in the morning.
I will.
It's all very puzzling. Edwards and Harrison always seem to be on the best of terms. Butler.
Sing.
Yes, sir.
It's true, isn't it, that Mr. Edwards and Mr. Harrison were good friends?
Big fight yesterday.
You mean they had a fist fight?
No. Big talk. Loud talk.
Have you any idea what the quarrel was about?
No, sir.
Tell that policeman to bring Harrison in.
All right.
Fight, eh?
Hey. Where are you going?
I'm going to Mrs. Edwards' room.
Oh, are you?
They want to see you inside, Mr. Harrison.
Who?
Policeman.
All right, come on.
Sit down, Mr. Harrison. You had a quarrel yesterday with Edwards.
How did you know that?
Is it true?
Yes.
What'd you quarrel about?
I can't tell you.
You mean you refuse?
Yes.
I'll have to hold you as a material witness.
Which is the same as being under arrest, isn't it?
Practically. That's all. A night in jail will loosen his tongue.
I hope it'll be solved as easily as that.
I think I'll grill that bird myself. And if I don't get anywhere, I'll turn him over to the two foremost criminologists on the Pacific Coast.
You don't believe it was an accident?
Do you?
Well, so far, I've no reason to suspect otherwise.
I have. I've a very definite reason for suspecting foul play.
Really?
I didn't mention it to Street, but Edward showed me a sealed letter in his safe, which was to be opened in case of his death by violence.
You mean to say he had anticipated that an attempt would be made on his life? And he suspected someone?
Of course. That's what's in the letter.
You know, of course, that Edwards was unreasonably jealous of Valerie.
The singer?
Stroganoff, Harrison, half a dozen men in San Francisco. Valerie had many admirers. How do you propose to open the safe?
That may not be so easy a matter. Why, it's opened. And the letter's gone. The eye of the daughter of the moon.
The Eye of the Daughter of the Moon. Do you mean of the Chu dynasty?
Yes.
But that's in the Imperial collection in Nanking.
No. It was lost in the looting of Nanking. Somehow or other, Edwards got possession of it. He showed it to me earlier this evening.
Heavens, why, that thing's worth a fabulous sum.
Yes. Our friend had a taste for that sort of thing.
Then presumably, the person who stole the letter took the sapphire. We'd better tell the police.
By no means. We'd better not give our friend's treat too much to think about at once.
No, no.
I think you and I had better stay the night here.
Good. Let's have a look round before we turn in.
Yes.
What's the matter, Mr. Wong?
Why, nothing at all, Sing. Aren't you up rather late?
Me see light downstairs. Me come up look see.
Quite right, Sing. Quite right. I want you to go to the house of the Seven Brothers on Grant Street. Talk to Sun Yat. Ask him who in Chinatown sells this kind of paper, and to whom.
Very fine paper.
Yes, it's not the ordinary paper made from straw. It's from the rice paper tree. It may have come from Honan province.
This may not be easy.
Well, do the best you can.
This is a microphotograph of the fatal bullet taken from Edwards' body. I'll now fire a test shot with Harrison's gun. That isn't it. They don't match. The fatal bullet was never fired with Harrison's gun.
I didn't think it was.
You'll notice the test bullet has none of the peculiar markings of the fatal bullet.
Could these peculiar markings, could they have been caused by a silencer?
Yes, perhaps.
Well, that's what happened in the Anderson case, you remember, Janet?
Yes, yes.
I had a hunch it'd turn out this way when I got the coroner's report.
Well, by the way, does it say that the bullet traveled in a downward direction? That it was fired from a height?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Well, I found this last night in a balcony overlooking the stage.
That's a .38. That's the right caliber.
Then it was deliberate murder.
Yeah, and that's not all. Carlslake, that's Edwards' attorney's waiting in my outer office with a fine load of news. It seems that Edwards changed his will, and Carlslake was on the way to Edwards' house this morning to get his signature.
Hello,
Carlslake.
Danny. This is Mr. Wong. We're helping the police in the investigation.
Mr. Wong.
How do you do? Carlslake, it's been definitely proven that your client was not killed with a bullet that came from Harrison's gun. This is murder.
I'm not entirely surprised.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there was something wrong in that house. An atmosphere of approaching doom. I've felt it ever since Mr. Edwards returned from his recent trip to China.
Just how did the terms of the new will differ from the old ones?
Ordinarily, I'd consider this information as confidential. But Mr. Edwards altered his will, practically eliminating Mrs. Edwards from every benefit possible.
Disinherited Mrs. Edwards?
Practically, as much as was possible.
How about Singh, the butler? Just to what extent was he benefited by the new will?
Well, he'd been with Edwards for years. He had the largest legacy of all.
I wonder how much that Chinaman really knows.
For ways that are dark and tricks that are vain.
You know what I mean, Wong. I think the sooner we get out to Edwards' house and question everybody, the better.
But I think you should know that Edwards left a letter in his safe to be opened in the event of his death.
He did.
And when Janny and I looked for it last night, it was gone.
How do you know Edwards didn't take it himself?
Edwards showed it to me just before we went downstairs. And as you know, he never came up again.
I think we better get out there right now.
Of course you realize that this definitely eliminates young Harrison.
Yeah, I'll release him. But I'm going to take him along for further questioning. He might be useful.
What is it, Singh?
Police downstairs.
They want to see me?
Want to see everybody.
Peter.
Valerie, tell the police we'll both be down shortly.
Peter, they released you.
Yes. They found that the bullet that killed your husband wasn't fired from my gun.
I knew you couldn't have done it, Peter.
Well, they're waiting. Let's go.
In other words, no one went up that stairway outside of Stroganoff.
That's right. He went in the playroom, poured himself out a drink.
Mr. Carlslake.
How are you, Mrs. Edwards? Sit down, please.
Mrs. Edwards, inasmuch it's been definitely established that your husband was murdered, it opens up a new line of investigation. Have you any personal suspicions?
No. There's no one I suspect.
Have you any idea why your husband quarreled with your secretary, Mrs. Edwards?
I wasn't aware they had quarreled.
I think I can explain that, possibly. Harrison bitterly objected to the terms of the new will, which disinherited Mrs. Edwards.
Oh. So that's why you quarreled, eh?
Yes.
Didn't like the idea of him changing the will. You knew about it, and you knew about it. Did you know anything about it?
No.
And you, Mrs. Edwards?
No. But I'm not surprised.
Seems to me that it's a pretty good motive for murder. Getting rid of that man before he had a chance to sign it. That's all.
If you don't mind, Sergeant, I'd like to return to my office.
Thanks for coming. One moment, please. How did you feel about the changing of this will?
Well, naturally, I was indignant. Mrs. Edwards is a lovely and charming lady. I thought Edwards was insane, and I didn't hesitate to tell him so. I quarreled with him as bitterly as anyone. In fact, I told him to get someone else to look after his legal affairs.
I didn't see you at the party last night.
Oh, I was invited, but at the last moment I decided not to come. I took a ride in my car alone.
And you live only a few doors from here.
Well, yes. Why?
I mean, we can get in touch with you easily if we need you.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Thank you. If I were you, Street, I'd have a few officers on duty here tonight.
I think you're right.
And Professor Janney and I have decided to spend the night here again.
Too much smoke.
On this felicitous occasion, the clouds of heaven congealed. The trees on the mountaintop.
Treasures of Wu-Wei?
Yes, and a forgery.
Could be. Boss, he thought he had original, stolen from temple of ancestor. Those who profane their dwelling places, the gods destroy.
You know something, don't you? But you hold your tongue in more languages than one, my friend.
Michael, darling.
Oh, Drina,
I was so afraid you wouldn't come.
it wasn't so easy. We must be very careful.
I've been so worried about you.
Don't. Soon it will be all over.
I hope so. Where did you hide it?
What do you mean?
The jewel, of course.
But I haven't got it.
You were upstairs.
There were many who were upstairs.
Are you lying?
You mustn't say such things. You have no reason to doubt me.
Haven't I? We were to be married as soon as you reached America. That was 3 months ago.
Oh, but I explained to you that it would be detrimental to my career.
You know very well your career was only a blind.
But I didn't realize then the great possibilities this country offers.
Hello, Wong. Thought you'd gone to bed.
I was just going to have a little drink before I do. You join me?
Why not?
I think I'm beginning to understand. You took the stone and you're trying to hold out on me.
You are crazy.
Not as crazy as you think. And I'd advise you to be careful.
Are you threatening me?
I found the letter in the safe that you overlooked.
What letter?
The letter that Edwards wrote, naming the one he suspected.
Who is it?
Wouldn't you like to know?
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to spoil your plans and everyone else's in that house. I'm going to give it to the police.
And tell them that you stole it in the safe. Don't be silly.
All right, then. I'll mail it to Wong.
You are bluffing.
There's one way to find that out.
Why you come in front door? You go meet him, huh?
Hey, George, come on up here. Come on, quick, make it snappy. Come on. Come on, come with me. Come on.
There. Take a look at that. Now, what do you think of that? The door was open. There's someone in the house.
Who can tell? Maybe they made their getaway.
Well, come on. Let's count noses and find out.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong?
There's a ladder by an open window in that room.
I think we better take a look, Johnny.
Yes. Cover the back door, search the grounds. Knock on some doors, get everybody up.
I don't understand that at all.
What? That our Mr. X should have to force an entrance into the house?
Or Mrs. X, or Miss X. Oh.
What's happened? Have you seen any stranger in the house? No.
Is something the matter?
Somebody either came in or went out. Is everybody here?
My maid Drina isn't here.
Maid. But where's her room?
This way.
Miss! Come on, break it in.
She's dead.
Oh.
Hello. Place is all upset. Looks as if it's been searched. Say, aren't you going to call street?
Yeah, get them over here right away.
Right.
All right, folks, let's clear the room. You stay here, don't let anyone in or out until Street gets here.
Oh, handsome. I was just having a drink. Won't you join me?
Yes, I think I could stand one. Sing. Have we any scotch?
Yes, sir.
Oh, won't you join us for a drink, Mr. Wong?
Thank you, no. I would like a cigarette. Yes, thank you. I'll take another if I may. I'm all out. Good night.
Have you found something, Wong?
The envelope of the letter which Edwards left in his safe.
And the letter?
No letter.
Where did you find it?
In the wastepaper basket in Drina's bedroom. I've always assumed that the murderer stole the letter from the safe. But somehow or other it fell into Drina's hands. So that she knew who killed Edwards. And she, in turn, poor girl, was killed herself.
Horrible. I wonder if the murderer has the letter now.
We'd all feel safer if we knew. But in any event, whoever has it or finds it later is obviously in great danger. Don't you think so, Johnny?
Indeed, yes.
Oh, there's our friend, Street, now.
I'm plenty sore about the whole thing.
I take every possible precaution. And what happens? Somebody gets in the house and kills that girl right under our very nose. When the newspapers get a hold of this, they'll tear the police department apart. I left strict instructions for every door and window in this house to be locked. How'd that window get open?
I was going through some of Edward's Chinese manuscripts in the den. I'd smoked a good deal. Singh came in and opened the window.
Why didn't you close it afterwards?
Me forget.
Oh, you did, eh? You sure you didn't arrange to leave that open for someone?
Room full of bad air. Me open window. Me forget to close him.
Does anybody know what this girl was doing all evening?
She go outside. She come in front door. Me see her.
Are the servants in the habit of coming in through the front door?
That's what I ask her.
What was she doing outside?
She go meet him.
Oh. Did she?
Yes. She was on her way to mail a letter when we met.
Oh, just an accident, eh?
No, it was prearranged. She wanted to see me.
What did you talk about?
A purely personal matter.
Oh, discussing personal matters and the servants, eh? How well do you know this girl?
We were friends in Shanghai.
Just friends?
When she learned that I'm coming to the States with Mrs. Edwards, she persuaded her to take her also.
Was she a maid in China?
She was a dancer in a cafe in a foreign settlement.
Did Mrs. Edwards know that her maid was your sweetheart?
No. But what has that to do with the investigation?
Might have a lot to do with it. Now, what was the personal matter you were discussing last night?
She was insisting on us getting married.
And if you refused?
She was threatening to cause a terrific scandal.
Oh. Did you believe that she'd actually do this thing?
I did not, and I told her so.
Then what happened?
She got very angry and she left.
You say she was on her way to mail a letter, Mr. Stroganoff?
Yes.
And did she mail the letter?
I don't know.
Do you happen to know to whom the letter was addressed?
No, I haven't seen the address.
How'd you get back in the house?
Through a French window. I left it purposely open.
You sure you didn't climb a ladder and get back in the house that way?
Quite sure.
All right. You may all go to your rooms. That is all except Mr. Stroganoff. He's telling the truth. The next step is to find out how much he forgot to tell us.
You really think he knows something?
Sure. And I know something. Whoever killed Edwards and that girl is on these premises right now.
Well, I'm quite sure of it.
Why?
Well, somebody took a shot at me.
A shot? When?
Well, earlier in the evening, I was outside. I was trying to make a cast of the footprint at the base of the ladder.
We never heard any shot.
Of course not. He was the silencer. And that's why we didn't hear the shot that killed Edwards.
Yeah, but you shouldn't take those chances, Wong.
No, it's perfectly all right. He missed.
The more I think of it, the more I think he knows more than he's telling us.
You think he killed his sweetheart to shut her up, eh?
Sure. When she threatened to talk. I think I'll take Stroganoff down to headquarters. Get him ready, George. You know, he claims to be a singer. All right, I'll make him sing.
Hello? What the function number? All right, all right.
You say you came in through the French windows?
That's correct.
Where'd you go?
Upstairs to my room.
And how do you account for the fact that the policeman on duty in the hallway didn't see you go up the stairs?
I went up the back stairs.
Oh, to talk to the maid, huh?
Yes.
Did you see her?
No, I knocked at the door and there was no answer.
Then where'd you go?
To my room and to bed.
Oh.
San Yat-sei paper bought from China by Kong Lee Company. They sell paper very few people. Here a list of them who buy some.
Sutter, 0661.
Yes?
Mr. Wong? About the letter, Mr.
My hat and umbrella.
Straight's office. Yeah, right here.
Hello.
Wong speaking. I'm afraid something's happened at the Edwards house.
I'll be in front of your house with a squad car in 10 minutes. Come on, Devil.
Open up! Break it in. Out like a light. Somebody hit him on the head. Look around and see what you can find. Phone the ambulance. You said you were talking to him on the phone. Did you hear any other voices?
No, I just heard a commotion and what might have been the sound of a falling body. So I called you immediately.
The wagon's on its way.
There's not a sign of anyone down here, Chief.
Nobody out there? Check the upstairs. Look around the grounds. There. Don't you feel better with that little walk?
Yes, thank you, Ed. It was very nice.
Say! Street. Wong, what is this?
What's happened? Have they killed him?
No, he's only knocked out.
Why? What's it all mean? Oh!
Where have you three been?
In the grounds, walking in the rose garden. I insisted that Valerie go out and get some fresh air, and we took Harrison along with us. It was my suggestion. But when did this happen? We haven't been out of the house in half an hour. Oh, much less than half an hour. That's right, isn't it, Harrison?
Yes. Have you been together all the time?
Yeah.
Well, yes, of course. Well, there's one thing I'm sure of. Stroganoff didn't do this, because he's been with me. The letter. That's the one thing I got out of Stroganoff. That letter was intended for you.
Yes, it was. Singh was speaking of it when he was struck down.
Letter? Please, please, what letter?
It's a letter written by your late husband, containing the name of the person he suspected, to be opened after his death in the event of foul play.
Then he did know.
Evidently, the assailant thought Singh had the letter with him.
See if it's on him, boys.
It's not necessary. I talked to Singh earlier in the day. And the letter is in the mail. It'll be in my hands in a very few hours.
You expect a visitor?
I'm expecting a visitor or two.
Oh.
You'd better stand by the door. Admit anyone who comes.
Right.
Why, good evening, Mrs. Edwards.
The letter. Have you received it?
Do sit down.
Have you opened it?
Allow me to offer you some tea.
Who was it? Whom did my husband suspect?
He suspected the one who hated him.
My husband had many enemies.
Is it possible that that could include young Harrison?
No. No, no.
Do sit down. Good evening.
Good evening. Is Mr. Wong in?
Yes. Then the real reason for your being here is that you're afraid his name might be in your husband's letter. Is that it? Why, Harrison, we were just speaking of you.
Val.
Peter, why did you come here?
Well, for the same reason you did.
Is it possible you both have an identical interest in the contents of this letter?
Mr. Wong, 2 more men come.
I told you to admit anyone who came. Excuse me a moment.
Sorry to be so late, but I met Stroganoff. He wanted to know where you lived, so I brought him along. Hello, Belle. Harrison?
I came to ask you, Mr. Wong, not to open that letter until I have a chance to tell you certain things.
That your name is not Stroganoff, but Petrovich? That you knew that Edwards had obtained possession of the Eye of the Daughter of the Moon? That you and the maid Drina won his confidence and came to America with him to get the stone, even if you had to kill him?
Aren't you assuming too much, Mr. Wong?
That remains to be seen. In the meantime, please be comfortable.
Thank you.
But what am I indebted for this?
I couldn't help thinking of what you said about my living so near the Edwards. Now, if you think for one moment that I had anything to do with this, why, Mrs. Edwards, if you contemplate making a statement of any sort, I must insist, as your attorney, that you first consult me.
Well, surely you don't think that Mrs. Edwards might incriminate herself. Now, I submit that we are all here for one purpose, to identify the murderer of Brandon Edwards. Now, this letter, stolen from his safe and subsequently mailed to me, contains the name of the suspect.
May I see the letter? Well, why not open it?
I'm afraid it's not quite as easy as that. As we all know, Edwards had a great many enemies, and it would be grossly unfair to cast suspicion on a possibly innocent person until we have sifted all the facts.
But what are your deductions to this point?
Edwards could have been murdered for 2 widely different reasons. The first and most obvious one, of course, is the theft of the Eye of the Daughter of the Moon. My first thought was that possibly the Far East, friends of China, had struck to recover what was rightfully theirs. But my countrymen here, who are in a position to know, assure me that that is not true. So then we come to Mr. Stroganoff, whose sole purpose in coming to America was to steal the stone.
But, Mr. Wong, how possibly could the murder of Edwards help me to gain possession of this stone, which was locked in the safe in an entirely different part of the house?
My dear Mr. Stroganoff, we have arrived at exactly the same conclusion. So I'm afraid we must discard the theory of the stone altogether.
Then you don't think the murder was committed to obtain possession of the stone?
That was not the paramount purpose.
You remember, of course, Street uncovered the fact that the will was changed and Edwards was killed before he signed it.
Ah, there we come to the second, and perhaps the stronger motive. In that event, who would be the interested parties? Of course, it would be Mrs. Edwards and young Harrison, whose devotion to his employer's wife was obvious. But the report of the Department of Ballistics proves that the bullet was not fired from Harrison's gun. And Mrs. Edwards was standing alongside of her husband at the moment that the shot was fired from the balcony overlooking the stage. So, could they have had an accomplice? Karslake has admitted to quarreling violently with Edwards over the terms of the new will. But then again, Street's investigation corroborates his story that he did go for a drive that night and was nowhere near the house at the time of the murder. Well, I confess that I am completely at a loss, and at no small cost to my professional pride. I shall have to seek the solution in this letter, unless you will come to my rescue, Janny, and tell me why you killed Edwards.
My dear Wong, surely you're not serious.
I'm sorry, Janny. I was never more serious in my life.
But my dear Wong,
You made so many mistakes.
Mistakes?
The theft of the jewel misled me for a while. But why the warning note? Why, the very paper on which it was written, a type of rice paper rarely found in this country, was easily traced to your university, where it's used in the repairing of ancient manuscripts.
Yes. That was a mistake.
Then you went out of your way to draw my attention to the manuscript of Wu Wang, an obvious forgery, which you had encouraged Edwards to buy, so I felt sure you weren't his friend. Then came the question of motive. And when I discovered that Edwards' first wife was your sister, and you had watched him drive her to a suicide's grave, I was certain that you had every reason to hate him.
Yes, that's true. He drove my sister Mary to her death. I was sure of it. He knew of my conviction because I warned him at the time of his marriage to Valerie. That was my great mistake. You know, of course, Valerie married him to save her father from going to prison. Well, for 3 years, I stood quietly by and watched him pursuing the same tactics, using the same insidious cruelties against her that he'd used against my sister. When I heard he was going to disinherit her, then I made up my mind to remove him.
I see. And poor Drina, the autopsy showed she died of poisoned smoke inhaled into her lungs. I can't
Believe me, my dear Wong, I would have saved her if I could. Her death is the one thing in all this sorry business that I regret.
No, Johnny. They're both the same, aren't they?
Wong. I've traced the source of that poison, but I can't find the man that bought it.
Here's your man.
Janny?
Goodbye, Wong. Congratulations.
I'm sorry, Johnny.
Shall we go straight? It's getting late and I haven't slept for a week.
Kind of breaks up a nice combination, doesn't it? All right, folks, that's all.
Good night, Mr. Wong.
The letter?
Oh, yes.
Why, it hasn't even been opened. It's blank paper.
Well, I was in rather an embarrassing position when the real letter mailed by Singh failed to arrive. However, that served its purpose.
How did you tie Johnny into that Edwards shooting?
I happen to remember that when the lights were out, he left me for a few moments. I then found he'd have had time to get to the balcony and back. So when I was fired at later on in the garden by a gun also equipped with a silencer, it wasn't difficult to put the two together, providing we could find a motive for Johnny, which unfortunately we did. For once again, Street, I must say that but for your valuable assistance, I couldn't have solved the case.
Thanks, Wong. I'll put that in the report.
Good night.
Good night.
Messenger just bring letter. Important?
Not now.
I get you some fresh tea.
No, I don't want any tea tonight. You're going on a very important errand for me.
Yes?
You're taking back to China something that belongs there.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.